Everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com, back again here with another Ferrero Friday, and this time we're making a little slider favour, which when you pull on this end here, it actually slides out at both ends, so you've got a pretty decoration here and your Ferrero stuck to the top of the slider there. And I've used the thick Whisper white card because you need that if you're going to pull it in and out, and you use some of the new thick baker's twine as well. And the reason this one is actually based on one I saw a German demo do on YouTube, but I wanted a flat surface because I figured that actually you could use this really well as a table favour, and it gives you a really nice flat panel to put a piece of card on with someone's name on it, and you could decorate this in whatever way you wanted to, but I just thought it was rather nice with a little rectangular tunnel. So without further ado, what we need to do is we need your scoreboard, and you need a piece of card that is 7 by 21 centimetres. I'm working centimetres because it just works for the measurements. I will see if I can work it out using inches for those of you that aren't used to centimetres. So having cut your card, you're then going to score it first of all at 1 centimetre. So we do our 1 centimetre on the right hand side, flip it around, and then you're going to score at 5, at 7, at 11, then at 16, which is a horrible one because it's right on the curve here. You'll see right at the very top you can just count 15 and a half, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just a smidge, a millimetre obviously, just over where it says that. So that's our 16, and then 20.5. Okay. So that's all of our scoring done. Just need to burnish those with a bone folder because it's card that we're using. So you then end up with a piece of card that is like this. And what you're going to do is, you can see here, this wider piece here is the piece that folds underneath. And inside you're going to make a little channel for the slider to come out of. And that's this narrow end here. So on the narrow end, then I'm using the 1-inch square punch, which I know is retired. But you know there are other makes of punch. Just punch a little channel out of the end there, and you could try it with a circle punch, but you could do with something that leaves a nice flat edge in there. And having done that, you then want to cut a piece of plastic. Now I'm using just a straightforward plastic pocket. We've all got lots of these around, and I'm going to cut that just at 2 centimetres, and it does cut with the Stampin trimmer really nicely, and you can get loads out of this. So then you end up with just a strip, which you're going to just trim down with a pair of scissors to around about 14 centimetres. It doesn't have to be exact. And you're going to put that strip around here, okay? So, what you then need is a bit of red tape, and really there isn't much that you do need to use red tape for this, and just put it on the end there. Do be careful not to go over the edge. I've gone very slightly over the edge, so I am just going to make sure I trim that back, because what you don't want is anything that's going to actually stick to the plastic, to the card, stop it moving. So all you're going to do is just wrap it round, not too tightly. So there we go. So it moves, and if you see there, it moves quite nicely, and then go and trim it back. Okay. So that actually is our basic mechanism, and that's going to fold in so that our 2 cards slide. So now what we need to do is actually make our 2 sliders, And you need, first of all, a piece of card, which I've got here, which is the ordinary Whisper White, and that is 6.5 by 4 centimetres, which I have simply corner rounded at the top there. Then I'm just going to use a very pretty stamp from the Love and Affection stamp set, which is this one here, and you can stamp it as it is and it looks really pretty, or you can actually get your markers and colour it in. So all I'm going to do is just come in with my markers and colour the stamp in. And obviously you could be as detailed as you want. You could colour those in with different coloured greens for the different shaped leaves. I'm not going to do that for speed. And then just colour your flowers in. And I've used a Cucumber Crush and Watermelon Wonder here. Huff on it because it's obviously just dried slightly, and then I'm just going to stamp at the end, which has been rounded. Okay, so that's the first one. The other end, you'll see I've used the tag topper punch on it, and I've made it we're going to make it slightly wider. So you need a piece of thick Whisper White, which is 4 centimetres by 9 centimetres. And I just realised I hadn't trimmed mine. So there's your piece of card. And then if you bring in your Whisper White, obviously it is too big, so all you need to do is just eyeball it so that it's broadly in the middle. You can see there, press down, and there you go. There's your tag topper punch. So you're going to do exactly the same with the stamp. You're just going to come in and colour those leaves. And there's my phone going. And then colour the flowers in. A little bit of a huff. There we go. So that's our other end of our slider. So now what we need to do is actually attach those. So what you're going to do is, when it's open like this, so you've got your right hand side, this is the bottom piece. So put it face down and just make sure that the join is towards the bottom. And you're going to put a small piece of tape, again red tape, on the slider, again being careful that we don't go over. So where you've got your join already, I'm obviously not very good at measuring those at the moment because I've gone slightly over. So and then what you're going to do is you're going to put that in that channel, line it up at the top, and then glue it down. Then fold it over. This is now the top section, so this is where this piece is going to go on. So you need to put a piece of tape at the top here. And I find it easier to do it this way, and then once I've glued them in place, we can then glue the channel down. Okay, so having done that, we just need to line that up with the bottom, because we want this to poke out at the top. Okay, and then all you're going to do is put a piece of red tape on the outer edge of this, and I'm using this very thin red tape, which I have to say I get from the lovely January at A Fix It Craft. Just turn my phone on to silent, as my youngest son has had a sleepover at his friend's house, so he's just phoning to say good morning, which is lovely, of course. So fold it over and then glue it down. Okay, and then quite simply, they're going to make the rest of the favour over the top. So what you want to do is, while it's still flat, is to decorate it. And so I've used, again, the lovely Love and Affection, and this is the new DSP, and I'm just going to come in with good old snail, and I've already cut my panels, and I've actually cut them, there you go, to fit already, and those are 6.5 by 3.5 centimetres. and there's the most gorgeous rose gold sort of copper foiling that we've got on here, and beautiful colours. I've used mint macaron, but you can see it's got the lovely new Flirty Flamingo on there, a bit of watermelon wonder as well. Okay, so there we go. So there's your basic decoration. Then all you need to do is come in, I would do a little bit of stamping on a piece of cardstock for the top, and for that you need a panel that is 1 centimetre by 6.5 centimetres. So I am what I'm actually going to do is do it just over, because you just need a small piece. Because to try and stamp on a 1 centimetre strip is just not really going to work. So I've got the thank you, which comes from another new set, which is the Thankful Thoughts. It's got a very nice thank you here. I'm just going to line my Whisper White cardstock up here, and because I haven't got my ink pad, this is a way of very quickly, if you haven't got your ink pad to hand, or if you haven't yet bought the ink pads, and you know we can't all afford to go out and buy everything all at once, but if you buy the sets of in colour markers, it gives you access to all the new colours. Hopefully my head's not getting too much in the way, I'm just lining that up. There we go, there's a thank you. It gives you all access to all of the colours without the expense of having to buy every single ink pad. And that's quite a good way if you're not sure about whether you really like the colour or not. And it works particularly for sentiment stamps. I've actually cut that too long. So all I'm going to do is just trim that very slightly at either end. And then that will just layer on the top there. And because I've made a little smudge, that would be an ideal place to put a little rhinestone or a pearl, and this is where they come in really handy. So I keep my rhinestones and pearls in one of the Stampin' Up boxes like this. These are one of the wood mount ones, and in here I have an assortment. So as you can see, I've got all sorts of makes in there. So I'm literally just going to put a little rhinestone on the end there as a way of just covering up. It's a really good way of covering up any smudges that you happen to have. So all that remains to do is to put a strip of red tape on this end here. And obviously you could use the slightly thicker tape on that end if you needed to. And to put so fold it around, line it up, just press down. And then all we need to do then is take a glue dot and adhere our Ferrero in there, because it won't just stay on its own. Or if you haven't got a glue dot to hand, a little piece of tape. And then if I find my Whisper White, so all I'm going to do is just cut a couple of lengths. I don't know, that's probably about 6 inches. Okay, and then just double it over, and I just take that from the top through and through there. Okay, then just tidy it up, and then what you can then do is, once you've actually put it through, just unravel those slightly to make more of a sort of tassel effect. And I say, if you just roll it between your fingers, and you're just undoing the twist, and then just trim. And then you've got your lovely Ferrero Rocher double slider favour, which I think makes a really pretty, interactive little treat. I hope you've enjoyed that and you'll join me for more Ferrero Fridays. Thanks for watching. Bye now.